we're back for the 12th episode of this series, and last episode it was mainly just an African video where a lot of Africa was explored, even some of the Sahara. Um, we'll have more African exploration, specifically with this team down here, because they want to explore this continent. They think it goes down pretty far down, and they're technically right because we know, but they don't. But look, first of all, we're gonna start up back up in the Lime team. The Lime team is going to invade yet another country, and this country is going to be the poor, dark green. Well, I guess like puke green color. Um, yeah, this country is gonna get slammed. The capital's already got. Oh, that's tolerance. Anyway, it's gonna get slammed, and uh, yeah, say goodbye to this team. It lasted a couple of episodes. It's gone now. So, uh, they once again expanded, and these two are not liking this country's expansion at all. They actually extremely oppose it. So what are they gonna do? Well, this is the first ever alliance we are going to see in this world. It's going to be the Square Team Alliance, and these guys were already technically allies. They just didn't really want to protect each other, but now they're like, hey, after meeting in probably this one, the French team was like, you might get attacked from here. Like, I'd defend you anyway, but you know what we should do? We should create a military alliance where you defend me, I defend you, specifically against you. And they're like, and the Iberians are like, we like that idea. Let's do it. So we have the first alliance ever being shown on the map, besides like the non-aggression pact. But that's a non-aggression pact. So first aggression pact happened here, but the first alliance happened over here. Now the Lime team is not going to take too comfortably, and what are they going to do? Invade a country, and yeah, they're going to invade you. So they're immediately going to conquer Sicily and Malta, and these guys are like, hey, we don't mind giving you this land, just leave us alone. Don't attack our core, or else we're gonna go to them. Uh, the Italians are like, okay, you know what, fine. So we have we have hostilities between uh the Lime team and the Square team being at an all-time high, and this empire it could be facing a coalition soon because of its expansion. So let's go over to Africa. We have this country now claiming more land, and we have them claiming all of this land here, and we have them claiming even more land. This is just to compensate for the lost territory that they lost to the green team. Now, I don't. I mean, this is they had Sicily in Malta for a long time. How long they actually had it for in terms of years, I'd have to rewatch my videos, see when they actually got this land, because I can't remember. But they had this for a good solid episodes. And actually, they still hold this island here. I will color this in. They do hold that island there. Just that's like not. It wasn't really in the Lime Team's ambition to conquer this island, so they never did. All right, so let's go over here, and we have them going after this country. So this country is once again another expansion country, and they want to unify Arabia, but under their flag. And yes, that would mean attacking them. But these guys have pretty good relations, so uh, we'll see how that goes. But this base team has been here for a while. This is not going to be an easy war. Um, we actually have these guys pulling off an offensive over here, but where um goes wrong is this country is like, hey, invade any more near my border, and I'm invading you. So they're like, okay, we're not doing that then. We'll just push these guys back. So yeah, this war is a pretty big war because these are the two like strong powers. I mean, like this is a high. This is pretty. This Saudi Arabian team is pretty strong, but also this country has been along for longer, so it's probably stronger. But they're evenly matched, so they're going to have a bunch of back and forth, uh, for a little bit until something changes. And what's that? Uh, the Persian country gets joins the war, and they start to invade. Now, the Persian country does not like the Saudi Arabian team at all, and the fact that they lost the war against them in last episode didn't set too well with them. But now they are now fighting a two-front war, so Persia can get its lands back. So what will happen here? Because this is uncalled for. Well, troops moved up here to deal with this threat. So it's just two-front war, and we do have some naval combat here, but honestly, it's not enough to actually be shown on the map. But in an excellent campaign, we have all of this land going over to Arabia, and we have this team falling back, and we have all. This is probably the most, if I can color. This is the most fighting on the front. Like this front here, a lot of fighting's going on. Like this is probably the most brutal front in history so far, because this guy wants this regime really wants its sovereignty, and they will even go over to this country and be like, hey, can you give us some aid against these guys? And they will be like, what do you get in return? They're like, I don't know. What do you want? Well, they say, some resources back after the war, and they will agree to that. So they will agree, and it's gonna help them as they're able to pull off another counter offensive. Oh, that's the wrong bush. Another counter offensive over here, but it's not enough to push them back. So what about over here? So this Persian team is going to put. Oh, not that far in. They will push all the way to here, but this team isn't like the Saudi Arabians are way stronger than them. It's not good, and this time the Saudi Arabians aren't gonna let them off easily. And something in this country hasn't been really stable. Once again, due to the red team's collapse in episode 8, I think. Episode 8, episode 9, I can't really remember. Episode 7, I can't remember. But this country has been on the more stable side. Because remember, like all of this, like if I can color, because I can't do that. I'm allergic to coloring. This whole area here was filled with probably like 11 countries. More than half of them were annexed due to them being unstable. And this country was able to get their act together until they joined this war. And we have a blue team rebellion down in the south. This is pretty big because you're fighting the strongest Middle Eastern power while also fighting a rebellion to your south. So what will they do? Well, they will try and peace out with the green team, but the green team's like, no, you invaded me twice. I'm not having that anymore. So yes, they're just gonna wrap up the capital, and this country is basically going to cease to exist at this point. It's kind of just gone. Um, so with this country literally collapsing, we have to this team going after some land, but we do have this country over here snooping up some of it. Um, we even have them going over here and taking some of the land over here. This blue team is very well going to try and get as much of the land as possible as they come up with a deal with with the green team to give them all of this land right here. So all of this land goes over to here, and the green team gets everything else. They also get all of this, and this land up here just kind of goes like unclaimed. So once again, that is another country down. But once again, stand over here, and after another counter-offensive, we have the well, not the offensive. We have this country just surrendering over and saying, "Hey, just take the land. Uh, you won." So this team is this team is very strong. It's definitely the strongest Middle Eastern power. In terms of the blue team capital, they will put it far away from the um, not far away. Oh yeah, we'll put it right there. And they actually come up with an idea saying like, "Hey, don't invade us. We'll give you some of our resources to not invade us." And they're like, "Okay, you know what? Sure, benefits me." So in terms of this country, yeah, they are getting resources. The resources did stop like the front line from going, probably something like this. Like if it wasn't for the resources from this team, that's exactly what would have happened. So this country has kind of saved this country. Alright, so that's all of the Middle Eastern drama. Let's go over to Europe again. And we have the Swedish country going after some land over here, which they do take some. And we do have some exploration efforts into this cold area of Sweden, modern day. And you shouldn't be here. But once again, it's in Austria. It does get cold over here, but this is extremely cold, and I don't like. It's not gonna go good for exploration up in this area, especially like the island. This island won't get explored for a long, long time. Alright, so what about over here? Well, the gold team and an English team are going to do a collaborative effort to explore a lot of the sea here, and actually all of this gets explored. And we have Scotland exploring this island up here, as they were kind of exploring their outer region of water. So people might be wondering why haven't this been explored? Well, you know what? There you go. But they won't go any further than this because their boats. If this would be suicide. But the Bay of Biscay, I think it's called, will get explored. All right, so let's go with Africa. We have this magenta team, discovering everything to this lake and everything south of it, all the way down to here. This is a huge portion of Africa, and they will even go as far as claiming a lot of it. Where they go once again to this lake, as I see it's very vital, and all the way over here. So they get a large chunk of land over in modern Tanzania. And once again, this country is probably one of the only countries to not have a navy besides the landlocked countries. So that kind of sucks for them. But honestly, did they need it? No. Over here we have exploration all the way down to here, which is good. This team does have a navy, so let's see what water they explored. Once I get the color, there you go. They have explored all of this land over here, and all of their land, all of the water near their country. So that happens. Alright, so let's go to Asia. The pink team is going to explore all the way up to this lake here, and actually exploring this area in general. So exploration in Asia is being ramped up, and it is happening. It's just cold. Also, why is this like this? They did not explore this. That's been there for 12 episodes now. Alright, so this team over here, this like dark greenish country, will go over and explore a lot of this area as well. So slowly but surely this is getting explored. It's just honestly all the Asian countries are just focusing on uh internal stuff. But we finally have more advances in this channel here. It's very hard to traverse waters, and they will almost discover Indonesia from here. Just not yet, but likely next episode they will discover this, as they're getting very close to actually discovering this island, which then makes this exploration of over here possible. It's just it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna take a while to actually explore this. All right. So what else? Let's go to Korea. They will take more land, and Korea is going to focus more heavily on their boat technology so they can explore over here. They think there's a landmass over here, but they once again aren't sure. They think there's a landmass over there. They don't have proof of it existing, but it does exist on the map, and that's Japan. And the reason they think is because up here they decided to explore northern, and they discovered this island right here. This I forget what this island is called. I'm deleting the border. But they completely discovered this island around it, but not completely around it, as in they would. But honestly, the best chance would be between Japan is probably this. They can probably do it, but they don't think Japan goes all the way up to there. They think Japan is like more of like down here than up here. But they do want to explore the Sea of Japan because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of fish in there. That would make sense. Alright, so this northern China will get a formal border, not this hideous border up here. But this border still looks horrendous. Color the pixels, there we go. I mean, this looks horrible, but whatever. Alright, so this country, this central China, well, how would you guys like to split? One more time. Yeah, this country just cannot keep it together. This country is splitting and splitting and splitting and splitting and splitting. What is the reason for this country? Because I said a couple episodes ago, even maybe last episode, I'm not going to use that. That it was focusing on the central government, and that's where the central is. Well, yes, they did focus on this area, but the issue with this area was they wanted independence, and China was like, no, you're not having independence. And they were like, stop me, and then they declared independence. So this China is very on the verge of basically dying, as they cannot keep it together. Although their stability as now is pretty good in this area over here, but they want to reconquer all this land. They view all the other Chinas as illegitimate, and they want to conquer all of it back. But their military is not a good military as right now. It's probably we have like what 20 countries. In Asia, it probably goes India being the strongest, then Vietnam, then Korea, and then this country, and then this one. So yeah, they're stronger than this and this, but they're not doing it yet. But they will probably eventually try and reclaim all of China. Alright, so Green Team's making another move, and this one is going to spark a lot more drama, and that's invading this central country. Now, why are they doing this? Because the Alps exist, and yes, they do. And to that, Italy says go around them. But for mapping sake, we are going to ignore geography and they will take a lot more land inward and leave this country being like this. This just proves that to Europe that this country needs to be stopped, and they are actually starting to have rebels. One area, if you remember, is the blue team. The blue team from episode 1, they were originally right around here. I think that's what their country was. Green team split away from them up here. But they are starting to get annoyed with the central government, and they just want independence. But this country is basically a fascist country, but fascism doesn't exist yet. The concept doesn't exist. So we're saying no. This country, well, I think all of these countries are authoritarian. It's just this country is more authoritarian than any other country, and this is going to cause another country to join the Square Team Alliance. And what country is that going to be? Well, that is going to be the country they just attacked, for obvious reasons, and it might be a bit hard to see. Actually, maybe not. I chose a bright yellow, but and for security's sake, we have another country, like this country, joining. So this is getting very, very ladder up, and we now have this Italy country facing a coalition probably very soon. And this is not gonna go good for them, but let's go somewhere else. Let's go over here to Eastern Europe, where we have another country that's forming out of nowhere. We can do this as like a prayer country, maybe. We'll do this. Yeah, we'll do this. This country forms out of nowhere, and the borders are kind of whack. But we basically have Poland just being like, well, I keep saying Poland. Maybe I'll just make this Poland. Okay, no, I'm making this Poland. I keep calling it Poland, whatever. We have Poland taking all of this land, and Poland is now effectively landlocked. Well, actually, they were originally. And this country will start to explore more of mainland Russia, but won't go too far, as they just want to get land, and they will get land. They'll get all this land. And we have, let's take you, bring you over here, and that's where your capital is now. Alright, so we now have the blue team expanding, and with the blue Persian team, and they expand a lot. They will take all the land up to here, and get a border with them. They will then go and border the pink team, as they take all of this land. So yeah, they expanded quite a lot. And this green team is starting to another invasion plan, but that is for this country, as they invaded them in the past, and they're going to invade them now. This country is scared, and their capital's gone, and we have yeah, it's kind of a slaughter, and we actually have all this area just kind of like, hey, you know what? You want to invade our homeland? Well, guess what? You're a new country now. Screw you. So we have yet another country disappearing, as military conquest is this green team's ultimate goal. And I'm just realizing this is a perfect straight line of border. Alright, so your capital's gone, and you now have Mediterranean access. You're gonna slow your rampage of countries down. Well, I mean, you have this country which is still rearming for defensive capabilities, so you don't want to invade them as they're ramping up the military. You don't want to invade them because you have good relations. You don't want to invade them because you get slammed. You could invade him because he's new, and ultimately there's nothing they could do about it. But then you'd probably have instability issues. You have an agreement with this country to not invade them. So yeah, you probably don't have you don't really have any options. So they will be forced to chill out. And we have the gold team kind of doing what's the deal? It's not an invasion deal. The gold team will get these lands off the green team in exchange for this team getting this land over here. Now this might be a stupid, like you might see this as a stupid idea, and you could say it is because you just lost more core territory. But this land was they wanted this land for a while, and they honestly didn't. It was well, I mean this country, the gold team extended. They just kind of like, hey, we want this land, so we'll just give you the best option possible, and we'll just give you this land. Just don't get any ideas because if you were trying to invade me, uh, this would happen. So they don't do that. So going over to the Golem team, something happens in the Mediterranean, specifically over here, as a Lime team vessel was just doing its casual shipping over to actually one of the Iberian islands for trade. The Iberian team, thinking this is a military boat, destroys it. It's destroyed. So the Lime team's like, hey, what the hell, man? So you know what we're gonna do? Yeah, take that, and we'll also do this. So the Lime team has just invaded France and Iberia, and that France and Iberia are gonna call for their allies, and that is that's a war. Um, and the blue team, the original blue team from episode 1, rebels from the Lime team as revenge, and we have the orange team that they recently conquered coming back and reclaiming their lost lands. Like the entire country rebels. And this is basically what it would have looked like. And now we have probably the collapse of this country, but we will see. Now the blue team hates, well, the previous blue team absolutely hates this blind team. Like these two have history, and the blue team wants this country gone. They're done with living under the state, and that is where this video ends. Now I will not be doing any we will not be doing any what's it called trader changes, as in I did not update the map. So, and I wanted to get this video recorded, so I won't be doing that. So that is this episode done, and that is episode 12 of this series. And next episode it will be mainly focused on the Lime team's independence war, we'll call it. Not really independence, but like land for their survival. And then a couple other wars as usual, and some exploration, but this will be the main topic. So we'll see you then.